Hey there, superstar. Welcome to How to Scale Your Coaching Business. Scaling a coaching business can be super rewarding financially, emotionally, spiritually even, and also really, really challenging. I know because I faced a lot of the challenges, and I've also witnessed my clients face some of the challenges. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few business models and strategies that you can consider that might ease the path for you as you look to scale your coaching business. Let's go. So it's pretty obvious why most of us would want to move beyond a one-on-one business coaching model. When we do one-on-one coaching, it can be very rewarding and fulfilling, and it can also get exhausting. You know, if we can only make more money by selling more of our time, chances are we'll start to sell more of our time until we filled up all of our time with coaching and we don't have a life anymore. Or maybe I'm just talking about myself and how I did it. Forgive me while I project onto you my own experience. But the truth is that it's a pretty common experience that we can run into. A coaching business has kind of a one-on-one coaching business, I should say, has kind of a natural upper limit of how big it can get. And obviously you can grow it to a certain degree by just raising your prices. And most of the time there's a point at which beyond which you can't really raise your prices terribly much more. In my experience and from what I've witnessed, generally it's hard to get past about $200,000, maybe $300,000 in revenues, just you by yourself with a simple one-on-one coaching model. So if you want to make more money, save more time, make more impact, what are your options? Well, I'm so glad you asked. My advice is to figure out what your magic is and then leverage and expand that, as opposed to figuring out what the market would want or what the market would buy, which a lot of people do. They look outside first to see what's the opportunity here and how can I fill that need. My advice is to do the opposite and to go inward first and really identify what do you love to do most and where is your magic best put to use. Now, before I dive into the different models and structures that I've seen work really well, I do want to invite you to take a minute, please, and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and consider posting a comment below. Tell me about your growth and scale journey. I'd love to hear more about that. Okay, so beyond the one-on-one, the easiest thing to transition into, and what I currently have in my business right now, is some sort of group coaching or mastermind type of model. A group coaching model is basically exactly what it sounds like. You're just coaching multiple people at once. How do you do that, you might ask? Well, I'm not going to dive deeply into how to deliver a group coaching model in this video because I have videos just about that. The entire video is dedicated to the idea of how to build a group coaching practice, how to coach people in groups, and all of that sort of thing. You can check that out below. We'll put a link to that there. Another option, and this is actually kind of a step up of the group coaching model and something that I've recently started doing maybe 2 or 3 years ago, was expanding the scope of coaching services that we offer by bringing in independent coaching contractors to come in and provide coaching in their areas of expertise. So for example, in my business, I have the Superstar Inner Circle. I work with clients for a whole year, and then often they re-enroll for 2 years at a time. And I've got a pretty nice community. We've got a stable crew or culture, you could say. And so, but what I noticed was there were people that were struggling with mindset stuff, like deep-seated mindset stuff that I really wasn't trained in or prepared to work with them through. So I brought in one of my mindset mentors. Her name is Monica Reyes. I brought her in to start working with my people in that area. As that was going so well, I realized later that people were struggling with accountability and staying on track with their projects. And I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't my magic to check in on people and make sure, did you do your homework? Did you do the thing that you said you were going to do? So I went out and found some accountability coaches and brought them in. And this helped me broaden the offerings that I give to people. So now I've got the mindset coaching, I've got the accountability coaching, and I've done this a few more ways where I bring in people that kind of supplement what I do and add their gifts to the community. And that has had the added benefit of reducing some of my coaching time as well, because as people are getting their needs met here and here, they need less of my time and attention, it feels good because I was doing things that weren't really aligned with my highest and best magic anyways. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing is kind of another step along this same path. Although you don't have to do step 2 to get to step 3, which is a train the trainer type of model. So train the trainer model, a way to grow a coaching practice, is instead of hiring people outside of your expertise, bringing in people and training them in your methodology so that then they can replicate what you do with more clients. So you can grow because you have other people available to do your work with those new clients. The fourth type of scaling that I've seen work really well, and the one that I'm looking to do probably sometime in 2024, is a licensing or certification model. And that's where you take your material and you certify or license outside people to deliver it to their communities, to their audiences. So I've seen this work really well with people like Gino Wickman, who wrote the book Traction, Sally Hogshead with her fascination test and her fascination consultants. Trying to think, John Maxwell has this kind of model. A lot of the bigger kind of celebrity coaches have this model where they're basically certifying other people in their methodology, and then the other people go out and do it on their own. Now, one thing that you could do perhaps also is that you can even provide leads for those people, which is a very attractive service that you can package into your certification and licensing programs. And then the final model is a franchising model. Franchising model is kind of I don't know if this is a true statement exactly, but I look at it as a more formalized certification or licensing, where people are buying the rights to work your system in a certain market, a certain geographical market or a certain industry market. So an example of a franchise model would be Action Coach. And I can't think of a lot of coaching models that are franchised. And I do remember hearing the founder of Action Coach, I cannot remember his name right now, saying in a speech that if he could do it over again, he probably would not choose a franchise model. He probably would have chosen a licensing or certification model. So I think that's pretty interesting. So I hope that this gave you some food for thought about ways that you can build and grow your coaching business. If you want to go deeper into ways to grow and scale, I highly recommend checking out my brand new Superstar Business Assessment. So we have turned my old business assessment into a beautiful new online questionnaire that'll tabulate all your results for you so you don't have to do it by yourself, and it'll give you an assessment of where in your business you could focus your efforts in order to grow. You can check that out again at superstarbusinessassessment.com.